Today I'm breaking down my thoughts and full recap on the ESG Football PlayStation 5 closed beta test session that went down these past couple days, which was on May 2nd through the 4th. Let me just say, this weekend's playtest was another major W. Let's get right into it. This latest beta build of ESG Football was a solid step forward. ESG Football introduced a brand new gameplay feature that honestly flipped the experience in a good way. They brought in field awareness, and man, let me tell you, this feature is a total game changer. Before this feature, playing quarterback was rough. Defenders could cover everything. Like, it didn't matter what kind of build you had, even full offensive players with no defensive traits could still lurk and shut down multiple routes. It made passing the ball super frustrating. But now, field awareness has changed the game. It finally brings that realism we've been asking for. Whether you're in man or zone coverage, you actually need the right defensive skill set to make plays. You can't just rely on speed or default reactions anymore. So if you're just tuning in and brand new to ESG Football and haven't seen the breakdown of this feature, as well if you're trying to get into ESG Football, this is what this feature basically looks like. So we're going to use College Football 25 as an example because once again, signed an NDA with ESG Football, can't show any footage, but this is a close comparison to what you guys will be seeing in the game. As a defender like College Football Madden, you can see the whole field on defense. In ESG Football with this brand new field awareness rating, you are limited to a circle diameter, which you will be able to see the graphic interface around your player like you guys see here. So depending on your field awareness rating, you guys will see the diameter circle big, small, medium size, right? So this does have a factor on every defensive position. Now you guys see here a higher overall rating. Field awareness defender, he's going to have a bigger circle diameter. Everything in the circle, you're going to be able to see skill position players. So anybody that is running a route, you're going to be able to see. Also, you will be able to see everything in the backfield from the line of scrimmage to the quarterback and just everything behind the line of scrimmage. But this only happens against route runners. So every time a pass happens, this is where it's going to get tricky for defenders from being able to lurk every route that's being ran. So once again, everything that you will see as far running into your circle, you will be able to see the receiver. Anything that's outside of the circle, you will not be able to see that receiver running the route. So you got to be also dependent on your teammates for playing their assignment based off man coverage or zone, and you can also use them to help you out, make a read to see if somebody's playing deep that you cannot see. So right here you guys see a lower rated field awareness. The circle is very small, it's just around your player. So everything outside you would not be able to see any skill wide receiver running the route. So with this new field awareness feature, it completely changed the game, made it more balanced, and it finally gave the offensive players to actually be able to pass the ball because before you just simply couldn't. So this brings a little bit more realism that we've been asking for. No matter if you're a man or zone coverage, you actually need the right defensive skill sets to make plays. So once again, there has been a lot of people making builds that's just catered to one side of the football, which is not bad. But when you have a complete speed offensive player like a speedy running back or a speedy receiver that has no defensive stats playing at DB, well, they're going to be able to lurk everywhere. But with this feature, it limits those players from doing so. So now they have to create their builds and make them more balanced on both sides. It also makes players play true to their assignment. So if you're in cover 3, of course, you're not going to be able to see somebody coming clear across the field to guard them. Or if you're able to see a running back in the backfield coming out to the flats. This creates a more dynamic feel for the offense to move the ball, especially when it comes to passing, and not have to worry about DBs lurking everywhere. Because once again, even though we haven't got to the 11 versus 11 stage yet, which we are about to, imagine trying to pass the ball against everybody being able to lurk the entire field. You just simply wouldn't be able to pass the ball at all. Also in man coverage, somebody can be manned up with somebody and be with them up to 12 to 15 yards, but then they can instantly lurk down because they will see a out route or a flat route and they can just make a play on it. That's super unrealistic, and that's what ESG football is trying to get away from, and they're making it more realistic with this new feature. Now, not everybody was feeling this change. Some in the beta community didn't like it. They were used to being able to see everything like it's Madden and just roam the field without needing any real defensive stats. A few just didn't want to adapt straight up. But in my opinion, this is exactly what the game needed. More realism, more balance, and more reason to put thought into your player builds. Once everybody was experiencing this feature, they had to revamp their previous builds, and especially new players, they came at the perfect time to experience this. But also, when they first made their builds and started out the game, they thought it was a complete bug. But apart from that, I had a great time with this build version of the game. It was a big improvement from the last test session. For example, running the ball is finally viable again. Last time in the previous test session, the fumble sliders were cranked up a whole lot, and it felt like every hit was a turnover. This time around, the balance was way better and the run game opened up nicely. If there's one thing I hope gets fixed before this next test, it's the matchmaking. Getting players into squads, getting everyone ready, and trying to sync into one server lobby, the process from this previous test session was a complete struggle. It took way too long to get games going, and it killed the momentum sometimes. They got to tighten that up moving forward because, man, waiting like 30 to 45 minutes to organizing everybody to sync up and load into the server and get all the positions right and then ready up for the game to start, it just took way too long. Speaking of moving forward, the next closed beta test is coming up May 9th through the 11th. And this time it's going to be a tournament event, plus the introduction of 11 vs 11 gameplay and 99 overall builds. This is where it gets real. No more 4v4 or 7 vs 7. We're stepping into full football territory. Scheme, strategy, and communication are going to be everything. With all the recent bug fixes and that new defensive field awareness feature, I can't wait to see how it holds up in the full-size matches. All in all, ESG football is headed in the right direction. It's not perfect yet, but these changes are making a huge difference. Each test session has been completely game-changing and well improved, and I'm looking forward to each new test session to see how it continues to evolve to a quality product game. Without you guys, this game wouldn't be possible. You guys still have a chance and opportunity to participate in the PlayStation 5 closed beta. Check out the links down below in the description to the Discord waiting room where you guys can follow the information from there to apply and get yourself in the next upcoming beta events. Other than that, subscribe for more ESG football. See you guys next time.